Hello, gorgeous people. Lisa from Elise Coaching here. It's a beautiful day outside, but you know, if you're out of the sun, it's a bit on the chilly side. Well, here in the UK anyway, but we've had the most beautiful, beautiful weather. We really have. So, how are we all doing? Uh, just love to know what you're doing, how you're coping. Have you discovered the order in the chaos? Because chaos, there's always order in the chaos. And it certainly feels like chaos at the moment, doesn't it? It's really quite chaotic. But we've got some flashing going on here. Sorry, not quite sure what that's all about. Let me have a look. No, that could be my jumper. Let me just take that off and see if that's. Oh, there we go. That's better. All right, I'll freeze for you guys. Stop the flashing doing. Um, yeah, there's. It feels like it's total chaos, and yet there is order in the chaos. And I like to liken it. Anybody who's been following me will know that I've been talking about this for a few years now, that the world is in labor. And labor is painful and it's messy. And that's what we're doing. We're birthing a new world. We all know that the world that we've been living in isn't sustainable, whether that's through climate, whether that's through our education system, our health system, or our sickness system. Any of those things, they're not working anymore. The finance system, the judicial system, they're just outdated. They're not created for today's world. So this is just part of that process of creating a new world. And I'm really excited about all this. I really, truly am. And yet, with being in labor, it's painful. It's messy. There's no two ways about it. It's painful and it's messy. And yes, we can opt for cesarean section, and yet the pain is still there, and it takes longer to heal. So where possible, let's just push through. And that's what it feels like at the moment. I've been talking about this with the Arab Springs uprising, with Brexit, with bushfires, with all these earthquakes, volcanoes, all these natural disasters. Trump, I always said Trump was the biggest labor pain of all, but coronavirus has proven me wrong. So I just see this as part of a process. And whilst when we're in labor, and for those of you that have never been in labor, trust me, when we're in labor, we just want to stop it. We just don't want to go through the process. However, that's not an option. So we have to breathe, keep going, and just push when we're told to push or when we feel the need to push. Fortunately, we're moving away from the being told what to do with our bodies that know instinctively what to do. And you know what? We instinctively know what to do. When we tune in, when we slow down, and that's what this is all about. It's about slowing down and getting back to what's important, because we've become so busy that we've lost track of what is important. We've lost that connection, and that connection is so powerful. So I don't know if you meditate. I really recommend that you do meditate, and I've done a little video on YouTube about meditation, and there's lots of different ways to meditate, so I'm not going to tell you how to do it. You find the way that works for you. Just, if I can give you any tip for meditation, it's to do 5 minutes every day. That's it. 5 minutes every day. Not a big meditation once a week or every couple of days. 5 minutes every day. And often that 5 minutes will become more. But the 5 minutes is just enough to really allow yourself. We can spare 5 minutes. So you're not clock watching, you're not thinking, oh, I wonder if my time's up, wonder if my time's up. You just do 5 minutes. And it's a great way just to get into the habit of meditation. And meditation, a lot of things, is a habit. It's not something we do, it's something we become. So play with that. And if you've got any meditation tips, please share them with me. But to start off with, what I thought would be nice to do is just to do some deep breathing, because we're generally not good at deep breathing unless we're exercising or meditating or doing something. Generally, we only breathe from the top 1/3 of our lungs. And given that this whole coronavirus is a lung dis-ease, remember it's dis-ease, so an dis-ease of the body and usually of the mind, manifesting in the body. So this breathing is very simple, and I'm going to invite you to join in with me. And it's what I call cyclic breathing. It probably has another name, but we breathe in for a count of 3, hold for a count of 3, out for a count of 3, and hold for a count of 3. And then we extend it to 4 and 5, and you can extend that as far as you want. But the purpose of it is, as we breathe in, we take in oxygen. As we hold it, we allow that oxygen to really get through the body, because normally we breathe in, we breathe out straight away. So we're allowing that oxygen to really penetrate the body fully. And breathing out, obviously, we're getting rid of carbon dioxide. And then when we're holding that breath at the end, we're simply allowing our lungs to empty fully. Because we don't breathe fully, we only use the top third of our lungs generally. That means there's a lot of stale oxygen at the bottom of the lungs. So this is a bit like spring cleaning the lungs. So I invite you to join me. If you don't want to, just close your eyes and just relax. This is just a really good way to support your body through this. And it's really good to do when you're stressed. It's good to do when you go to bed to help you sleep better. And it's great to do when you wake up in the morning. It's great to do anytime, really. So we're only going to do a few rounds, but you choose to do as long as you would like. So just taking a breath in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. Let's take it up to 4. If you can't do 4, just stick with 3. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. One more time. In, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. And just breathe. Now, I obviously wasn't doing that breathing while I was counting. I haven't mastered that multitasking just yet. And yet, already I feel calmer. I feel more relaxed and already feeling like my body is starting to energize properly. So just bring that. Or if you have a different breathing technique, there's so many different breathing techniques out there, particularly from the field of yoga. So yeah, if you have a different breathing technique you want to share with us, please jump in and join me and share that technique. The more that we can do to support each other during these times, the better. So I don't know about you, I've been exposed lately to a few conspiracy theories. And some of them are awesome, and some of them, my sense is there's a little bit of truth to them. So I invited on a post earlier today to start exploring other stories, other perspectives about what's going on. You don't have to believe them, just explore them, just expose yourself to something different. And that is really quite powerful. And we start to listen to things like some of the things I've listened to. David Icke is a good one. Although he's very angry, so that might not be the best energy to be listening to. But there's a lot of stuff out there, just giving us a different perspective. And yeah, whether you believe them or not doesn't really matter. What I'm asking you to do is to broaden your horizons, to broaden your knowledge base, to open yourself up to other possibilities. Because the problem with being in lockdown, talk about being in a police state, like how quickly did they manage to get the whole world into a police state? Just like bang, there we are. A little bit Orwellian, methinks. Anyway, the challenge for many people is that they will rely on the news, as they already do, which is driving the panic. And I'll tell you, I haven't had a television for over 30 years, and I do not watch the news. I'm really not interested in the news because they only tell us what they want us to hear. So, of course, Facebook's a far more reliable source. I really work on the theory that if I need to know something badly enough, I'll find out about it. And sure enough, my husband got a SMS from the NHS this morning, from the government this morning, telling him of the latest updates. So do we need to watch the news? No. All it does is drive more fear. So if you're worried about what's going on, I invite you to take a break from it. Educate yourself. Either educate yourself on this or educate yourself on something different. Just start engaging the brain to be doing something intelligent. We inherently want to grow. We're built for learning. That's what we do as humans. So it's a natural expansion. So use this time to expand your knowledge, to learn a new skill. You might want to learn a new language, musical instrument. I don't know, anything. It doesn't really matter. You might want to learn to cook. We're stuck at home. So much exciting, so many exciting possibilities here. So really just explore. Just use this time. It could be so easy. How many times have you got to the weekend and you've done nothing and then the weekend's gone? So we don't know how long we're going to be in lockdown for. Some of you not yet in lockdown. Some of you might be coming out of lockdown soon. Who knows? Let's just make the best of this time. Let's slow right down. Now, my business partner, Sarah McCrum, she's released so much good stuff. I'm going to post a link a little bit later on. She has some really good stuff and is well worth checking out. She's got some beautiful meditations, some audio meditations just to listen to, some free courses, some stuff that you can do to just start to empower yourself, to put you back in charge. Because part of the problem and the reason we've got this mass panic is people aren't empowered. So they're waiting for somebody to tell them what to do. So I understand this might be a bit controversial for some people. As you know, I live in a different world. But that's okay too. We all, we're all in this together. It doesn't matter which world we live in our minds. We're all in this together. So let's support each other and see how we can create a better world for all of us. That just does take us to actually step up and be part of that process. So I'm going to invite you to start dreaming about the kind of world that you want to live in. One where we all have freedom, where everybody has all the food they need, where everybody has everything that they need, whether that's medical care, whether that's finances, no matter what. We're not talking about greed here. We're talking about living in abundance in whatever it is that we want, because we live in a limitless world. Unfortunately, as humans, we've created it to be limited. Limited is the word I'm looking for. But yes, just dream big about the kind of world that you want to live in. Because I read a really interesting article a couple of days ago, I think I posted, and the coronavirus itself, because it's an energy, was talking to Jeff Vanderkloot, who talks to energy, and it said that it will only take 3.5 billion people, which is approximately the number of people on social media, which I checked out because I thought, I wonder how many 3.5 billion people. It's roughly who's on social media. It will only take 3.5 billion people to create the world we want in 3 months. That's it, 3 months. And then on a call with Sarah McCrum today, heard that it's even less than that. I can't remember. It's a really small number. It's in the thousands. That with the intention we can change everything. And anybody who follows Lynn McTaggart, she does intention setting. She does a global intention setting every week. And she also has a great magazine called What the Doctors Don't Tell You. So well worth checking out her stuff as well. But it's about the collective energy of just a few people all wanting the same thing without attachment, without agenda, just generally wanting a better thing, a better world for everybody. So what would it be like if all of you just spent time every day in meditation, in breathing, just with intention and daydreaming about the kind of world you want to live in, the kind of world you want your children to live in, the kind of world you want your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and your great-great-great-grandchildren to live in? Because we have an awesome opportunity at the moment to create that. So let's see what we can create. This is the most incredible time for me, probably in the history of humankind. It really is, and it's up to us to make the best of this and really start to shape the way we want to live, instead of being controlled by autocrats. And we can call it a democracy, we can call it whatever we like, and that's probably a whole new program on its own. So for now, just go and explore. Let's start dreaming. What is it you would love to see in this world? How would you love us all to live? And let's see what we can create. Because if enough of us do it, you know what, we can create it. I truly believe that. I really, really do. So I would love to know what it is that perhaps you're struggling with. What it is it finances? Is it being at home with the kids? Is it being confined and not being able to get out? Getting claustrophobic? What is it? What is it that's really bothering you at the moment? And if you have some fear, what is that fear? Go in and explore it. Something we're not good at doing is really allowing negative emotions. We've been taught to that they're not good and that we need to get rid of them. And yet they're part of who we are. They make up a big part of us. And all of us have many, many different facets, different characteristics, and they're all okay. They're all part of who we are. Sometimes some of them will be a bit more prevalent than others. But we've generally taught we've got positive and negative emotions. So if you're having any emotion, I invite you to just take time and just sit with it and acknowledge it. You don't have to do anything with it, but just allow yourself to feel it. And just sit. And I don't know, those of you that have got kids will know that if a kid wants your attention, it will keep mom, dad, until it gets your attention. And the longer you leave it, the more insistent they will get. They don't go away. They just keep getting insistent. So our emotions are the same thing. What happens is anything that is suppressed eventually will be expressed, usually in the most awkward of times and awkward of ways. It's not a nice controlled expression. It's a bit like a volcano. So when we just sit with an emotion and we allow ourselves to experience it, it doesn't mean you're going to stay there. It doesn't mean this is who you're going to be, angry or depressed or sad or frightened forever. It just allow yourself to acknowledge it. And 9 times out of 10, it'll start to dissipate. This is a really good one to do if you have anxiety. Just sit with it. Don't try and understand it. Don't try and justify it. Don't try and explain it. Just sit with it. And it might take 5, 10, 15 minutes, might even be longer. It doesn't matter. And if you want to, when you do it, give it a scale of 1 to 10. Well, okay, I'm feeling angry. It's an 8. So just sit with it. Okay, anger. What does anger feel like? Do you know? Have you ever taken time to actually notice what's going on in your body, what it really feels like? Or are you so busy being angry that you don't have time to do that? What does depression feel like? I've experienced all these, and I actually now embrace them. I still get depressed from time to time, and I embrace that. I embrace that as my nurturing time, because that's when I go in. That's when I go inside and really explore. And that is what, for me, that's what this pandemic is all about. It's about taking out those external distractions so that we come back into ourselves. And I was first exposed to this in my early 30s when I had myalgic encephalomyelitis, ME, or chronic fatigue as it's called today. And it was a challenge because I couldn't bear noise, I couldn't bear light. And by the way, I was pretty fit. I was training to be a physical training instructor in the Reserve Army at the time, so I was pretty fit. I couldn't even walk upstairs. I could not do anything. So sooner or later, I had to go in. I couldn't read, which was my favorite thing. I couldn't bear the sound of music or the radio, anything. So I just went in. I had no choice, ultimately, and I went in. I went deep inside. And that's when my healing started, when I learned that my body's trying to tell me the way I'm living is not sustainable. And I'll be honest, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. I truly believe now that if I hadn't had chronic fatigue, I wouldn't be alive now. Not from the illness, but from the way I was living my life. It wasn't sustainable. I did everything at 110%. I was full on. There was no recharge. There was no coming into the pits. It was just full on. So I would have crashed. So the chronic fatigue was a speed bump, which slowed me down enough to really embrace the gift, in what was being offered to me. And it would have been so easy to have seen this as a dreadful thing. And it took me a little while to see it as a good thing. You know, I didn't see it at the beginning, even though my mother told me it would be the best thing that ever happened to me. I couldn't see that at the time. So just know that with this, you know, we will look back in 10 years' time and go, oh my God, how do we ever live like we lived before? We're coming into a whole new, exciting way of living. And we will look back and go, did we really live like that only 10 years ago? And let me tell you, when you've been around as long as I have, you can do that. You know, I look back now and go, oh my goodness, when I was growing up, did we really live like that? You bet we did. So if we look at how quickly the world is evolving, it's just evolving at such an incredible rate. And who knows what's going to happen in the next 5, 10, 15 years. What I do know is that the way that we're living now is not sustainable. And this is the same as the chronic fatigue was for me. This is our chance to reappraise how we're living as a collective and as individuals, so that we can create something better. Because I tell you, my life is so much better now. So much better now. Like I say, I didn't see it at the time. I certainly see it now. And anybody who's gone through a major trauma in their lives is likely to tell you the same thing. There are a few who don't find the lesson, don't find the gold. But the majority of people will say that their life is better after, even though they couldn't see it at the time. So let's embrace this situation. It's a global situation. We're in this together. Let's support each other. Let's stay calm about it. And let's just see how we go, to just connect. The beautiful thing about this is we can connect to each other. Let's reach out, but let's do it with our energy. Let's put out this energy. Let's get this energy, build up our own energy so strong that it affects everybody around us in a beautiful way. Yeah. And that energy is love. The energy of love is the most powerful energy in the world. It creates everything. So just get in touch with yourself and start exploring your emotions, allowing those emotions. And I'm telling you, these emotions at the moment, we're on a roller coaster. We're on an absolute roller coaster. And even myself, and I'm fairly balanced. I've got a fairly positive attitude. I see the big picture and I'm fairly comfortable with what's going on. But every now and again, I just get to that place. I go to that place of fear. Fortunately, I recognize it very quickly, but I go to that place of fear, or I go to that place of anger. Now, I liken that to even the best surfers in the world get tipped off their board every now and again. Yeah. And when they're off their board, okay, it's all about survival. The water's churning them around. They can't breathe. All they want to do is get up to the surface. Once they get to the surface, they check to see what waves are coming towards them, where the danger is, and where's shore. And then they pull in their board and they get back on again. So even those of us that have been playing this game for a while and are fairly comfortable with what is going on, we still get knocked off our boards, and that's okay. Sometimes we just need a helping hand to get back onto the board. So if you are struggling, if you are unsure, even if you just want somebody to talk to, these are happening every day at different times for different time zones. So each day is a different time, and it's all random because everything's changing so quickly. I'm not putting plans into place. I'm just doing them as they come up. So please reach out. This isn't a time to struggle. This is a time to ask for help, to offer help, and often asking for help helps those that you ask. In a funny sort of way. I know that I work with clients a lot, and often helping them helps me. So share that opportunity with people and just allow the process. Trust the process. If you're religious, if you're spiritual, you already know that something bigger is in control. So have faith in that and know that everything is going to be okay. But that's it for today. Join me again tomorrow. I have no idea what time it will be. I'll post it in the group and you can join me when you're ready. And if you have any questions, you can either, if you a specific time you would like me to do these, please reach out. Oh, and by the way, if you're interested, I've got a webinar. Oh, well, it's not a webinar. It's one of these. It's a chat, but it's specifically about the energy of money and developing our relationship with money and looking at money as a new way of being. So please join me. I'd love to have you on it. That is, I do know the time of that. That is planned. That's 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, Greenwich Mean Time, so England time. So afternoon for Australia, late afternoon, early evening for Australians, and everybody in between. So guys, take care and stay special. I will speak to you tomorrow, and you got this. You really have got this. Take care and stay special.